Hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip, and you are not. How you doing, guys? I was watching, and it's so heartbreaking. It really is. The Amy Bradley, who has been gone now for 27 years, and now, like I vaguely remember the talk about it when it happened. Vaguely remember it. If they can't find Amy after all of this, because here's the thing, even Amy's brother, who was on Crime Weekly with Derek and Stephanie, even though what's happened, and I've said this over and over again, is that social media is looking at cases for the first time with brand new eyes, bringing up things that can help in solving cases. Just regular people that are looking things up over again with new technology, with what makes sense. Amy Bradley disappeared off of a cruise ship in 1998. She hasn't been seen definitely since. There has been supposed sightings, there has been supposed verified sightings, there has been information that people have said about Amy that wasn't shared, and there has been pictures that the FBI are pretty damn sure is Amy, and that Amy's own family believes it's Amy. 100%, there's no 100% whether it's Amy or not. There's doppelgangers out there everywhere. But this really seems to be Amy. What's for sure is that there's definitely something wrong when there's a crime that is committed in a different country. We saw that with the Holloway case, remember? We've seen that with a lot of crimes that occur in other countries where the relationship with the United States isn't so respected or isn't liked so much, and or both. And the laws just aren't upheld. They're different. Now, Amy was seen with a man named Yellow, who was in the band on that cruise ship. And that was the last time she was seen by a few people. She was given a dark colored drink, and she was led to the back, and that was the last time Amy Bradley was officially seen. Now, there's speculations. Was she gay? Yes, she was gay. Did she leave because she's gay and her family had a problem with that? Maybe her family had a problem with that at some point. But I think over the course of time, the 3 years, so they knew she was gay for 3 years. Now, back then, times were hard for gay people. And her dad was saying, you're complicating your life. Thinking maybe it's a choice, maybe. But it wasn't a choice. It's not a choice, right? It's not a choice. But he loved Amy. He still loved Amy. There wasn't a problem. They were still supporting Amy. So did Amy leave to get away from her family? For this long? What could they have done to her for this long that she needs to get away from her family and have nothing to do with them? No, I don't believe that. Because a young woman, 23, 24 years old, at some point she needed her family. And she would have reached out to her family. And she knows her family would have been there for her. Her brother, at the very least. So I don't believe that Amy decided, what the fuck, I'm leaving. I don't believe that Amy fell off that cruise ship either. I believe if Amy was falling off, a lot of people would have heard her yell and scream. I think there would have been a splash. I think somebody would have said or seen something had she have fallen off her balcony. I don't think she got close enough to the balcony to even look over. Not at all. At one point, I thought Amy was maybe drugged before she left Yellow the first time and came into her room about 3:40 in the morning. And then maybe passed out, and then Yellow came in and took her away. Because people have come and gone out of that room and they didn't wake up other people. The dad woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, go check on his son, didn't wake up the wife. The dad woke up to go check on Amy an hour before he made the announcement that he couldn't find her. Nobody was woken up. Could Amy have gotten a message to leave the door open? Could Amy have went out for a cigarette? That I could believe. As a smoker, I used to be a smoker. Man, I would have walked to the other end of the ship to get a cigarette if I didn't have a butt to relight as a smoker. So could she have done that? Could she have just said, I can't sleep, might as well stay up. It's a joke for me to go to sleep for a couple hours. They were going to wake up. They were going to go to their next port, which they arrived at, I think, around 6 o'clock. So where was Amy? I don't know that Amy went to go meet up with somebody, because why wouldn't she tell her brother? Even if it was the girl, because there was a girl Amy was talking to, an employee that was on the ship that worked in the casino. Did Amy go looking for a cigarette? That makes the most sense. That makes the most sense to me. That she wanted a cigarette, she couldn't find it, and when you want a cigarette, you want a cigarette, man. When you're sitting there and you can't sleep, and you're sitting there bored and you're a smoker, you want a cigarette. I believe that's what happened. I believe she went out to go get a cigarette, and I believe she met with who she thought was friendly to her. Certainly nobody that was going to harm her, and that's what I think happened with Amy Bradley. I think she was taken down the service elevator or whatever kind of elevator. There's just too much. And we're going to stay on this story. We're going to go over what Derek and Stephanie and Brad, Amy's brother, were talking about. And we're going to see if we can maybe figure it out. We got people on this side. Let's see if we can join the crew in trying to figure out what happened to Amy Bradley. I got people from Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. Anybody see Amy? And do you think that the pictures of Amy as Jazz are Amy? Do you think so? And what about the theory of what's keeping Amy there now, if she's still there? What about that theory of her getting pregnant and her children being used to help motivate her and help manipulate and motivate her? What do you think about that? Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. Tell me what you think. I'm going to dig deep into this story. I want to know more about it. Hopefully you guys will go on the cruise with me. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Take care, guys. Thank you.